there. What's your name?
My name is Marcelina Apis.
Marcelina, where are you traveling from?
I'm traveling from Pukpulam, Hong Kong Island.
Give us an idea how your life was before you came to the help center.
Before I came to the UCKG Health Center, my life was a mess. I was very emotional person, shy, and low self-esteem because of my past. When I was a child, I was sexually abused, but nobody knows, even my parents. I didn't tell them about that, what happening in my life, because I cannot remember also if what age I was that before. So I carry that in myself. Even I get married, I didn't tell anybody, only God knows and me. So I was suffer that because I always compare myself to others. I have no self-confidence. Even sometimes I was very manhead. Then sometimes my husband didn't understand me because I suddenly get angry with him. So until I came here in Hong Kong, because I want to make our life better, because my husband is only a breed delivery, and he is a master baker, but he prepared to deliver abroad. So then I say, okay, I will go to work in abroad so that we can have our own source of income. But when I work in abroad, Bishop, then it's suddenly my plan is, I fulfill my plan, but because of how after 2 years, after 4 years, my husband start his addiction. He has a lot of addiction, womanizer, cigarette, uh, drinking, and the most that my financial lost a lot is gambling.
Okay, so you suffered at a young age,
Yes, Bishop.
first with a childhood trauma,
Yeah.
and that stays with you, that stays with people.
Yes.
You got depressed, it was affecting you emotionally.
Yes.
And then the moment you got married, of course, you carried this into your marriage, your husband not knowing what was going on.
Yes, yes.
If you are witnessing the story here of Marcelina. If you are going through a trauma, if you have a pain deep down inside that medication cannot take away, tablets, alcohol, addictions cannot take away the pain. Maybe you didn't tell anybody about your problem. I need to tell you this. You cannot move forward in your life unless you resolve the inner issues and the pains that you carry in your life. You may think, well, that's easy for me to say, but here I have a solution. I have an answer here. If she could do it, there is a solution for you. You're not suffering alone. We can help you. Now, let us find out with Marcelina. Marcelina, then you started working abroad. You
Yes.
thought, okay, things are going to get better.
Yes.
And then you discovered that your husband was trapped with several addictions that were really harming him and also harming the marriage and harming the finances.
Yes, Bishop.
Tell us, how did you experience the power of the altar? How did you change the story of your life?
When I came to UCKG, so what I heard the teaching from the man of God, I apply, and then I surrender my whole life to God. I open up those my weaknesses, that things that I keep inside of me from young. So I open up to the wife of a man of God. Then I can move on. Then after that I surrender. I sacrifice in the altar, and then I surrender everything to God, and I make the chain of prayer for my husband to totally free for his all kinds of addiction. And also, that time also, I cannot sleep because sometimes I think that when I send money, because sometimes of my emotions, when he asks money, I suddenly send for him, but I didn't know that he abused my money. So when I go back home, Bishop, this is the worst things that, because all my things inside the house is really empty. So that's my lowest point that I cannot take. So when I go back to Hong Kong again, so I decide to make my own decision. That then I say, Lord, if my husband cannot change, I will separate him already. So that's the last decision that I made. Then I sacrifice for my husband, for his addiction. And thanks God, Bishop, he is totally free for his addiction.
So there was a moment in your life that you even thought about separation,
Yes,
thought about giving up.
yes, Bishop. Because I cannot take already all the hard working that I work here in Hong Kong. This is nothing because all the money he abused, even my property, the house, and then the tricycle, everything he go and sell because of the gamble. Because according to him, it's better to play a gamble than he play a girl. He said, it's not painful for me if he play gamble, but if he go to other girl, it makes me very painful. But it's the same, Bishop.
Yeah, actually both is bad.
Yeah, it's the same, very, very painful for me because when I go for holiday, I buy the appliances, everything I put inside the house, and then after 2 years, when I go home, it's empty.
Okay, if you are paying close attention to this, she nearly threw in the towel, nearly gave up on her marriage. Maybe you feel like taking a drastic action. You feel like running away, giving up, throwing in the towel, doing something like giving up. Remember that giving up is easier than persevering. And you should always give it another chance. You should always give the altar one more try, because the altar doesn't fail. The altar is not silent. And that's what happened to Marcelina, because the moment you came to the altar, you sought help at the altar, you got confidential help, counseling,
Yes.
to overcome your inner problems, emotional problems, your trauma.
Yes.
But after the confidential counseling, you also had to use your faith.
Yes, Bishop.
And on the altar, you experienced the power of marriage restoration.
Yes, Bishop.
How is your life today?
Now my life is totally changed from inside out, and then my marriage is restored, and then my husband is totally free for all kinds of his addiction. We have peace inside the house, and my children also, they are united with my two sons and my daughter, because before my children they lost their respect for him, Bishop, due to his addiction. My children didn't listen to him when he advised, because he did not show a good example, because he is also drunken. And then my children also, my two sons, they are also drinking. So he cannot tell my children that don't drink, because my children didn't listen to him, because my children see what he is doing.
So today, you have overcome your trauma
Yes.
mentally, emotionally.
Yes.
You're in a good place.
Yes, Bishop.
Inner healing.
Yes.
Your marriage has been restored
Yes.
miraculously, but
Yes.
that's because of your perseverance.
Yes.
Your kids are doing well, the
Yes.
family is united.
Yes, Bishop.
Do you still have depression?
No more, Bishop.
Are you taking medication?
No, Bishop.
How are your finances?
Now my finances I recovered. Before I have a lot of debts. But now I totally debt free, and I start make my savings now, and also I bought land for my house. I bought 200 square meter for my house lot. And then my husband also now he is working. And then my two children, even they didn't graduate high school bishop because of my husband before. They are angry, so they don't want to study anymore. But now I'm happy because they are working they have a stable job in a big company. So I did no need to send money for them. They did not depend on me, Bishop.
So, what is the biggest treasure in your life today?
My biggest treasure in my life, Bishop, is my salvation and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you for sharing.
Like what you watched? Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook or inbox us, or give us a call.